All right, sitting in the heart of Thomasville, you'll find Finch Field, home to the HiToms and packed with decades of history. For one family, that history gets a little more personal. Coming up next, the story on one college senior who stepped up to the same plate as his grandfather did more than 60 years ago. With a field that's been around since 1935, you know you're going to find a lot of history. Finch Field, home to the HiToms, has been a stopping point for many future major leaguers. But for one player, Finch Field has become a family affair. Clara Goodwin has the story.
This is something bigger than baseball, bigger than us.
In Finch Field's 87 years of existence, it's seen big names come and go. But for one family, there's one name that stands above the rest: Jimmy Smith.
We came down to Thomasville, or the Carolina HiToms, in 1957 and 58.
Kirk's father spent his summer the way so many do, on the diamond. Kirk heard the stories of his dad's days in Thomasville, stories that continue to live on even after his father passed away 1 year before Kirk's son Colin was born. But it didn't take long for them to see that Colin had a lot in common with his late grandfather.
When he first started at, 7 years old, he said, "This is it, I'm going to play Division I baseball."
Colin's hopes became a reality when he got recruited to play for the Naval Academy. Although his late grandfather served time in the Army, they know he still would have been proud to see what his grandson accomplished.
I just thought it was a place I could challenge myself every day with something bigger than myself, something I could surround myself with really good people and learn from the best.
During Colin's freshman year playing for Navy, he found out he would be stepping foot on a diamond that was very familiar to his family: Finch Field.
His dad emails me and says, "Hey, my son Colin is coming down to Finch Field to open his college career. And oh, by the way, his grandfather Jimmy played for the HiToms in 1958.
They played down here on the field, and he was presented with a throwback HiToms jersey. And I think at that point, the whole reality of what could be kind of hit everybody.
What could be turned into what came to be: the opportunity for Colin to play for the same team his grandfather did.
I know my dad was very excited for it because he knows his dad's past. My uncle came down here and he visited. He was very emotional about it. Even my grandmother, when I told her I was coming down here, she was very excited for me.
When you connect the dots between a grandfather in the 50s from Delaware who spends the summer with a future big league manager who wins a World Series, and then 58 to 60 years later, his grandson takes the field at Finch Field just like his grandfather did in 1958.
A family affair that's bigger than baseball, all sprouting from a field that's been the foundation of connection through the decades.
You know, I came around the corner and there's my son in left field, on the same field that my father was on. You know, just everything has kind of come full circle.
Really all fell into place, so it feels like it's just what it should be, what was meant to be.
For some, it's just another diamond with 4 bases. But for the Smith family, Finch Field is and always will be a bond between generations. In Thomasville, Clara Goodwin, Fox 8 News.
Such a neat story. If you still want to watch some baseball, the Dash, the Grasshoppers, and the Rockers still have games remaining in the regular season.